Hello my friends, welcome here. I'm Aimee Esther, and today I have some news to tell you that you were right, my friends. Those of you who have commented on my videos, you were right. You have sent me messages, I have heard you, but I have not fully listened to you until now, and you were right the whole time. So before we get into that, if you don't know who I am, I'm Aimee Esther, and I have multiple chronic illnesses, including POTS, was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, PCOS, endometriosis, chronic migraines, SIBO, lots of gut issues and things and pains in all the places. So I've dealt with lots of chronic illnesses and pains, and I always felt like we hadn't fully figured out my whole story. And I've been sharing a lot about that recently here on my channel. So if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe if you want to learn about life with chronic illness. And the thing that keeps coming up, and that you guys have told me so many times, is EDS, Ehlers Danlos syndrome. And I can't even count, seriously, how many comments I've gotten. And this is not one of those like influencer things where you're like, oh, everybody's been asking me this, and really it's like 2 people. This is seriously like insane for the amount of comments that I get on my channel. The percentage that have mentioned EDS is a lot, and I've always told people that I don't have EDS. I have a lot of pain. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, although I actually didn't pass the test for fibromyalgia. There's like a pain points test, and I didn't have enough to be diagnosed. But my doctor said, basically, we don't know what else it is, and this fits the bill, so we're gonna diagnose you with fibromyalgia. And now I feel like that was probably a misdiagnosis, but at the time, I definitely didn't feel good about it. I felt like my symptoms were being dismissed, that I was being dismissed, and that they were just trying to give me a diagnosis to get me to stop coming in for testing, because I was just so ill and in so much pain all the time. And as I've shared this story, and EDS has come up here on the internet, I've of course looked it up many times. I tested myself for it according to like the Baton score and all the testing. I did do a video just recently where I sat down and did it on video, and that's where you guys told me, Aimee, seriously go get this checked out. So thank you for that. But I had tested myself, not on camera, many times before that, and I just thought, no, like this is normal. The way my arm is normal, and I always told people I'm really flexible, but I'm not hypermobile, and I never like dislocated anything. I also had my physical pain that was like my muscle pain and my fatigue started in my 20s. And I know with EDS, you were born with it. And although I've always been flexible, and I've always had like, I don't know, the weird stuff like the bumps on my feet, and I always twisted my ankle a lot, and I always bruised easy, and I always had that stuff. But I kind of dismissed that because my intense muscle pain and fatigue didn't start till my 20s. That was also very confusing, and I did some research finally, and it says EDS is something you are born with, but symptoms may not manifest themselves until later in life. It is not uncommon for a genetic condition to first become apparent during puberty. Alternatively, symptoms can be triggered by trauma, such as a virus many years down the line. And I did recently just post a video. I actually recorded it before all this EDS stuff came up, but it was about how my chronic illnesses started, so you can watch that. But there was mental, emotional trauma. There was also a virus, physical trauma that happened that kind of triggered my body to go into this state. But I have had many other of the symptoms of EDS my whole life. Always been very naturally flexible, been able to do, I don't know, interesting things with, I guess, with my body, but not like dislocating, or I never thought I was double jointed, and so I was like, I don't have EDS. Well, finally, I have seen the light, my friends, and so many of you have commented saying like, that was the missing piece to my puzzle, Aimee. I feel like this is probably the missing piece to your puzzle. And I know everyone was so respectful about it and kind, but I kept pushing it off because I thought that I had already gone down that path. And it's interesting because I have had doctors say to me, are you sure you don't have EDS? And I've just told them no, and they didn't even test me because I was just like, oh no, I don't have it. When I should have just said, oh, maybe, can you test me for it back a few years ago. But it makes a lot of sense why I would have prolapse at such a young age. I had uterine prolapse. I also had to have bladder and bowel repair, like full pelvic floor repair surgery. I had to have a urethral sling put in. All of my scarring from I had a hysterectomy because of my prolapse, and the scarring from that was ridiculous, and I felt like my body took so long to heal from it, and I looked up everything on the internet, and I could not find a single person who had gone through that and had pains as long as I did. It has gone away now, but it was like 8 to 10 months of pain because of the scarring that I had. And I've had other surgeries where I've just had weird scarring. I still have scars from when I was a kid. I'm literally always bruised somewhere, and I never know where they come from. Like, I don't remember getting hurt, but I'm just bruised. And as a kid, I did get hurt a lot. I've always been like clumsy. I used to dance because I was very flexible, and everyone used to make fun of me because I could dance gracefully, and then I would walk and trip and fall. So it's like little things like that that I didn't really realize were all a part of this. And of course, the thing that this really has helped me to see is the muscle aches and the pains that I have had, that there's finally an answer for it. Although my doctor did not take away the fibromyalgia diagnosis, I am not sure that that is part of my story. Just because of the way I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, it just doesn't really make as much sense as EDS would make. And it really does complete this chronic illness story that I have, especially because I do have POTS and mast cell activation syndrome, and those often go along with EDS. And so it does kind of complete my story. And I feel silly that for so long I just dismissed it, and I could have known this long ago, but at the same time, it was how it was supposed to happen. And I'm telling you that I was wrong and you were right, and I should have listened to you. I should have listened. I mean, I did. I looked it up. I thought that I didn't have it. I thought that what my body did was normal, and apparently the way that my skin stretches and the way that my arms bend and the way that my fingers bend is just not as normal as I thought it was, because I lived with this for my whole life, and so I just thought it was normal. So there's that, my friends. Hope you have a wonderful day and you are in less pain than you were today. Wait, I said that wrong. I hope that tomorrow you are in less pain than you are today. I hope you are enjoying this life that you live with chronic illness. If you're not, that makes sense because it's a freaking hard life. But if you're not, come join us in the community as we lift each other up and we go through the good days and the bad days and the happy and the sad all together. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye, my friends.